Hi, my name is Lawrence Rouse, known as LRW3, and today I have some excellent people with me. If you all just want to go ahead and introduce yourselves and let the people know where they can find you all at.
Hi, I'm Coretta Yeadon, and I am with Thrive Mortgage. I am a mortgage loan originator. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Coretta Yeadon Loan Officer.
Hi, my name is Johnathan Riggins. I am a real estate agent and real estate specialist with Platinum Real Estate out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm also a affiliate of Homes for Heroes as well. You can find me on Facebook under J. Rashad Riggins, and you can also find me on IG under J. Rashad the Realtor.
Now, I myself wanted to get in real estate. Of course, I started the classes. I ain't finished them. You know, I decided I was doing too much. I decided I wanted to start trying to do a little podcast instead. So maybe one day I'll get back to it. But for people who are interested in maybe starting real estate careers, not to, of course, have new competition coming for y'all or anything like that.
It's never competition.
Of course. But speak to the people as far as some of the training you had to do or some of the training they could expect to have to do if they wanted to get into your positions.
Well, with real estate, I went through a local real estate school through Fickling. Started in January. I want to say it was about starting January, finished in April. So it was about 4 months. Class every Monday night. You're in there. I want to say it was from 6 to 9. So I want to say, how many hours did we have to complete?
Was that, because I know they have different type of classes, was that the type of class where like you got to pay so you don't have to like go under Fickling, or was it one of those? I know, don't some like agencies, they'll like
some agencies will train you and pay you. I paid it out of pocket so that I didn't have to go directly under Fickling. I could pick my own agency that I could go with. But I'm not going to lie to anybody, because I have my bachelor's and my master's, but that was by far one of the toughest courses I've ever taken, because it was a test every week. It's chapters that you have to read, and it's nonstop. It's really nonstop.
Yeah, like I said, I try to do the online. That's why I said if I go, I need to go to a class. Cause that online, it's just like, that's a lot of information.
I tried it myself online, and I was the same way. I was online, I was like, I can't. I got to go to a classroom. And actually, I think I had it wrong. I had classes every Monday and Thursday, so twice a week I'm in the classroom. And it was sometimes where, and I had a great instructor. She laid things out, but the book they give you, and hey, if you got to read 2 chapters, you got to read 2 chapters. And you got to pass those tests.
2 chapters.
No skimming too. You got to read, because the thing about passing is like you got to pass the test to pass the course, and after you pass the course, you still got to take the state exam. And the state exam, I want to say it was 151 questions, and you have to score, I think it's 70 or 75, something. I want to say it was around like a 75, and I want to say Georgia's pass rate.
I was a lot of people fail their first.
It's really it's really low. You know, shout out to myself. I passed first time. You know, little pat.
I wasn't gonna ask you because I knew it was low. I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
Little pat on my back. I did pass the first time. You know, so but it was tough. I'm not gonna tell anybody not to do it. It's definitely worth the challenge. It's definitely worth, you know, actually taking the knowledge, because I actually was in class with a couple of people that just were taking the course just so they can know more about real estate, because you learn so much about real estate, debt to income ratios and different mortgages that you can get, FHA, VA, you know, you learn about your loan to value ratio and different things like that. There's so many different things, what they consider property, what they don't consider property, what could you take when you leave in a home, is it a fixture or is it not? So learning those different things, it really helped me be able to educate other people when we're going through the home buying process. Because a lot of people are like, a lot of real estate agents, and they that's just how some are. Some are just salesmen. Hey, you like this house, we're gonna get you in, get you going. They don't explain, you know, and I can't tell you what to do with the deed or anything like that, because that's what lawyers are for. And I have to recommend that, because I gotta protect my license, because hey, that's livelihood.
Of course.
But I can give, you know, some advice, you know, say, hey, you know, that I would, you know, talk to a lawyer about that, just as a easy way to say, hey, that may not be the best choice.
In fact, double check that.
Double check that, you know. And a lot of times with realtors, you don't get it, because I had a similar experience. We sat down with a mortgage lender. He did mortgage lending and was a real estate agent. He had both. So I was like, okay, one-stop shop, and I actually knew him. When I sat down with him, me and my wife we didn't feel the vibe.
Is that a good thing to do? Just one person doing everything? Because you don't I don't feel like there's a safety net there. Like
some companies won't let you do that.
Yeah, I just feel like
there's nothing against the law for you to do it. You really have to be careful because you got to maintain that fine line because we're governed by certain laws. And it's like, even though this is one of my lending partners, I don't get anything for anybody going to her. Like if somebody wanted to sit down with her and get pre-approved, that's cool. I don't get anything. Even after you get pre-approved by her, you don't have to pick me as your real estate agent. You can go pick somebody else. And there's nothing I can do about it. And there's nothing I would do about it. I just know I met Coretta. I know Coretta's a very great person, a loving spirit. And I know she's the same way I am. She want to educate people and help people out. It's not just, oh, I got you approved for $400,000. Go and find you a house at $400,000. We get a 5-bedroom over here and everything.
Go get it, big money. It's your time now. Do your thing.
Listen, that make me lose sleep at night. For me, we kind of got the easy route, but they save all the stress for later for us. So you can do a 3-day course. I did a 3-day course. It was based out of Texas and it was virtual. Of course, you have to take an exam at the end of the 3-day course, and you really learn everything, but you don't learn everything. You learn enough to.
That's everything. That's everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
You know enough to not get put in jail. Okay, so you learn the laws, a lot of laws that you have to learn, loans and different programs. But the biggest thing you are learning as a mortgage loan originator in the beginning is not how to go to jail. Kickbacks. What he said about being able to refer people to your realtor partners and not expect something in return. Like we cannot get incentives for sending our clients to different realtors. It has to be because we believe that they're the best, and then we give them the option to choose and to interview them. But we have an exam that you have to take. So with the NMLS, you pretty much take an exam, and it could pretty much work for all states. Now, some states require extra classes that you have to take, but you need at least a 70 to pass. I mean, I passed with an 85, so I didn't worry about that on the first try. Yes, but it took me time. I took the class in December, and being a twin mom, we were moving from England to Georgia, and it's not something that you take lightly. I had to take prep classes. I had to purchase 2 prep classes to make sure I knew the material, because you never want to be that loan officer who's like, oh, I didn't know. No, you're supposed to know, because you are taking care of people, and you can go to jail for mortgage fraud. And if it sounds fishy to you, you need to be able to use your common sense, which is not always common, to determine, could this lead to something wrong down the road. So we're definitely learning about different scenarios to help protect us. Some people don't know, if you default on your loan within the first 3 years, you can pretty much get a free mortgage, because you can probably say that, oh, the loan officer didn't thoroughly check my debt to income, and you can pretty much blame us for everything. So when we give you a pre-approval and we are going through the process to check to see if you can handle home, we want to make sure you have stable income. It's going to continue for the next 2 to 3 years and beyond. We people who quit their job right after getting a house, that is not good. Don't do that, because how are you going to continue to make those payments? And that's what we're looking at. It's not because, oh, we're just trying to be tough. We are protecting you. We want you to be able to live in your home. So if you are a mortgage loan originator who care about selling and making money, you won't last in this business, because you have to be able to have discretion and to look into things and look into the details that are being provided to you, and check to see if there's anything that could lead to potential fraud, or you putting your client in a bad position. So
Empire State of Mind, talk to us about the start of your company.
Okay, so Empire State of Mind, it originally started out as apparel. I launched apparel. Actually got the idea from watching Earn Your Leisure. A buddy of mine told me about Earn Your Leisure. I watched the podcast. They were talking about how they started with t-shirts. I'm like, I could possibly do that. This is during the pandemic. We all stuck in the house. Everybody started a business. So I did it at first, but then the apparel did fine for a while, but then I knew real estate really was what I wanted to get into. So once I got into real estate and really started doing that, I turned it, I pretty much revamped it, reshaped it, relaunched it to support my real estate business. The idea of Empire State of Mind, it honestly came from just how I feel people should think, like as yourself. Not the Jay-Z song, no, not Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. No, I'm not from New York, not trying to bite them or nothing, but it's just how you should think about yourself. You should think of yourself as a business, as an empire. Mm-hmm. What do you want? Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years, next 5 years? And how do you want to build that? And by having that name as my business, I feel pretty much it's my goal to help people get to that point where, okay, I got this foundation. I know in 5 years, I got this. And by being a real estate agent, I can really help people do that, because when you purchase a home, you begin to gain equity when you make those mortgage payments. Mm-hmm. That equity can be used to either add on to your home, remodel your home so that now you got a better product that when you want to sell it. Or you can use that equity to go and purchase another property and then get into investing, or even use it to start a business. So when it came to Empire State of Mind, it started as apparel, but it's really developed into, it's a whole mindset. It's a culture. It's a movement. Like when I'm talking to people, I'm looking to see what's the empire that you're looking to build, or what are you trying to grow. If it's your business, okay, we can go there. If it's, I just want to purchase a home so I can leave something for my kids. Okay, that's the empire that you want to build. Let's start there. And that's honestly that's where it is. Thank you to Earn Your Leisure. Shout out to them. That's who inspired the idea. But over the past 2 years, that's what it's developed into. Is my real estate business, real estate specialist business, working with investors and then individual home buyers as well.
Perfect answer. And of course, I was going to talk about the military, but you already kind of jumped into that. Homes for Heroes. Anything else you want to add as far as that goes?
Well, Home for Heroes, it started after 9/11. It started after 9/11. They wanted to help out the veterans and everybody they saw that was being involved in it. And I actually ran across it on Facebook. I went to one of the informational seminars, and I really loved what they're about, because that also plays into my business as well as what I really care about, helping people, especially heroes in the community. I was a teacher. Coretta was a teacher. My mom was a teacher. Prior to me becoming a teacher, when I first got out of the military, I worked in corrections. So I know, law enforcement officers, health professionals, teachers, veterans. Those are the people that honestly during the pandemic, I saw them suffer so much because there wasn't you can go work from home. And even the teachers that were working remotely, a lot of them were saying they were working more. The healthcare professionals we've seen, where nurses and our CNAs, phlebotomists, and all the other EMTs and everything were burning out. Firefighters, I have cousins that work as firefighters, paramedics, they're out there, first responders on everything. And being able to provide this service to them, it's very important to me, because with Homes for Heroes, once you affiliate with a home, the thing about it is that in order to get the benefit, you have to have a real estate agent that is an affiliate of Home for Heroes. So once you get a real estate agent or mortgage loan originator that is an affiliate of Homes for Heroes, you get perks as far as like your appraisal being taken care of or waived when you're getting ready to purchase your home. That's a big deal. I think my appraisal was like $600. There you go. That's $600 saved. Yeah. Along with having that, if you're also working with a real estate agent, so average, if you're selling your home, real estate agent uses 6% because they have to split it with the buyer's agent. If you're buying a home, it's generally like 3% as far as what you're paying as far as a commission. As a Home for Heroes affiliate, you're pledging part of your commission back to the nonprofit so that that hero can get something back at the closing table. And the thing about it is that even if, they don't want to take it back at the closing table, they want to commit it towards their closing costs, they can. So that's another benefit. And it really helps a lot of people in our communities, and especially where we live at now. We got Robins Air Force Base there, schools everywhere, and you know, healthcare professionals all over the place. So being able to, you know, just have people come to me and I can, hey, present this program to them to help them as far as becoming a homeowner, I really enjoy it. And beyond that is that with working with Home for Heroes, I'm also able to nominate local nonprofits where they can actually get a $10,000 grant. They give them out every month. And as of today, I think they've awarded over $1 million in grants to nonprofits. So I'm able to support nonprofits as well as the heroes in our communities, because so many times they are supporting us, but they don't really get that love back. So I'm able to, you know, help them in as far as, hey, here's a check at closing. You're a veteran, hey, you served your country, you're reservist, you're serving our country, active duty, you're serving our country, teacher, serving our community. Here at the closing table, okay, you don't need it swore closing. Here's a check. You know, go do whatever, buy a TV, go buy a Gucci bag, go buy some new J, whatever you want to do with it. It's none of my business, but furniture, that would be a great purchase. But you know, just put something back in their pocket and to give an idea of how much you can save. Generally, they save like $700 per $100,000 they spend. So per 100K spent, they save about $700. To get more specific with numbers, you know, you can go to my website, www.empirestateof-mnd.com, and you can hit on the logo and take you directly to my affiliate website. You sign up, I'll get in contact with you. We can, you know, talk about some numbers. I can refer you to one of my lending partners, and you know, you guys can talk even further about numbers, and you can know exactly how much you can save as far as purchasing your home and what you can possibly expect back at the closing table. So Homes for Heroes it's a big part of my business. It's something that I push. I'm, you know, wearing the apparel now because I really love what they're doing. I really love what they're able to do for the people.
I gotta give you flowers. I already knew you was well spoken, but like I already had a high expectation for what you were gonna do. But I'm like, oh, you killing it right now. You killing it. I had to give you flowers real quick, middle of the interview, man. So, as a loan officer with Thrive Mortgage, first off, why did you choose Thrive? Was it just who was hiring, or is it specific?
No, my mortgage loan officer that I met when I moved here, she became a part of Thrive, and I was looking for a mentor, someone who would be able to help me in the industry, and that was local, and she was opening up a new branch in Perry, so I decided to go with Thrive, not knowing as much as I should have known onboarding with them, but once I got all the information, I'm very impressed. Like, we had a conference and it was training, and there is someone always there to support you, and that's one thing you need in this industry. You need to know, okay, if I have a question about this, who can I contact? And each department is so well organized and ran, and I'm like, man, I lucked up to be, you know, new to the industry and to be able to come with join a company that is so well established and well known, and I'm doing pretty good. I hope Thrive don't get rid of me, because I'm here to stay, and I love my team. My team is the Lone Wolves, so Sierra Helmberg, that is my branch manager, great mentor, great loan officer, well known in this middle Georgia area. So just be able to learn from her, like, there's just so much she brings to the table. I'm just very grateful to have great support from Thrive. With
your experience as being a loan officer, what's some of the major things, I guess maybe on the paperwork side, that affects people's abilities to purchase these homes that you're seeing?
Where do I begin? Of course, credit score. Most programs, loan products that we have, the minimum is about 620. FHA can go as low as 580. Late payments. We don't pay our bills on time. We have the money and we are not paying our bills on time. And a lot of people don't realize your credit cards, your card payment, all of those things are reported on your credit report. And for FHA, which is pretty basic loan product, you can't have at least more than 2 late payments within 2 years. A lot of people don't know that. Like, you just think, oh, I paid them up, you know, we're good.
They got paid.
They got paid. You know, I paid them when I wanted to. So that is one of the biggest things. And late payments take a while to get off your credit report. Now, there's some leniency and we can work with 2, 3, but I've seen like 20. And people think student loans is the big issue. It's not really student loans. Of course, if you're making payments, we take a small portion and add it to your debt to income ratio because everybody has it. We understand that that's just a part of life, and we do accommodate for that. Collections, you can't really have more than $2,000 of collections that are outstanding. If you take people's money, you gotta pay them back. I think one of the biggest things people don't realize is that it does follow you. Even if it's 5 years ago, it does follow you and it stays on your credit report. Even medical bills, we don't really consider medical bills as a factor, but it affects your credit report. Yeah. So your score can be impacted by it because it's on there. But the great thing about Thrive Mortgage is that we have an in-house credit repair program. We pretty much, if you are denied because of credit, we stick with you and we help you repair your credit to get ready for a home. With my clients, I personally sit down with them and we review their credit report and we create a budget. We talk about what things need to be paid for sooner than later. And I do like scenarios to kind of show them like what your score could be in the next 6 months, next 3 months. So I don't just tell you no. I like to tell you why I denied you, and this is the resource that you can use to get prepared.
Are people getting, like, you know, back in the days of like your parents when they had these $400 mortgages, and people ain't getting those no more?
No, baby.
Not really. Nah, unless you're buying a home that's like $50,000.
No.
What would you, just for people, what would you, if somebody was thinking about buying a house, what would you say they should prepare their mind for, just generally speaking, of course?
Currently, in today's, depending on where you're looking, if you're in Houston County, you're gonna pay anywhere from like $250 to like $300, and depending on some areas, $400,000. In Macon, you can find Bibb County, you can find some around $160, $170. You can find some up to $400,000, depending on where you're buying.
$900 a month minimum too, though. Still ain't it?
Sure. Was it? You said what? For how much?
Like 160, something like that. That's like
yeah, that's still 160.
160 with
still gonna be paying
interest rates.
With interest rates, yeah.
I've seen a 160 about $1,200, $1,300.
Yeah, once you add in all the other stuff.
You know, and because people don't realize, like, your mortgage
might be 9.
Yeah, your mortgage is 9.
But let's add in these taxes.
But we got taxes, we got insurance, we have, and like if you do FHA, there is a mortgage insurance that you have to pay the government because they're lending you this money at a lower amount. Like if you put 20% down, there's not that extra, we call it PMI or MIP, mortgage insurance premium that is added on. Most people don't have 20%, but there's a lot of factors that go into your final mortgage payment because you have to put in the money for your reserves, for your, what is it called? I lost the word.
Are y'all doing DPAs again or no?
Just depends.
Because I know when it was a buyer's market, you was getting that. I don't think you're getting that in the seller's market.
We do. We do Georgia Dream. We do the Shanoa funds.
Yep.
For the people who don't know what DP is, down payment assistance.
Down payment assistance.
I'm not just assuming everybody knew what that meant.
Yeah. So we use those programs. I like to show you the whole picture if you use them versus not using them. Sometimes it's beneficial. Sometimes you're going to be spending way more money to not have to put money down. Right. Of course, if I can get you in a USDA loan in a rural area and you meet the income requirement, I'm going to try that first because that is still like an easier option. If you make too much and you're like, okay, I still don't want to bring anything towards my down payment, I will consider Georgia Dream or Shanoa to see what it looks like. But it does cost.
Shanoa gave me a DPA, and oh my God, they called me like a bill collector though. I didn't know they was gonna call me.
Yeah, because it's a second lien. So you got your mortgage, and then the down payment assistance becomes like a second lien to your home.
Yeah, they was like, I gotta pay on time 3 years, and it goes. But they'll just call just to check on me, like just do surveys or just random stuff. They didn't tell me they was gonna do all that. I was just paid.
Yeah,
and they want to make sure they get their money back, man.
And some of the programs you don't. It's a forgiveness. Like you paid on time. With Shanoa, you pay maybe 3 or 5 years on time payments, and they won't ask for the money back if you sell. Of course, you always got to read those fine print. Everything is different.
If you late on
Yes.
payment, they want that money back.
Yes. So, and when they say make payments on time, that's not like, oh, I'm gonna wait till after the grace period. You get it when you get it. And sometimes like it could make you have to wait 30 years for them to forgive you.
So do you all have any preference when it comes to like programs? Like, do you prefer FHA, VA, or like?
I'm partial because I used the VA loan, so I didn't have to bring anything as far as a down payment, and it's been good as far as the fixed rate. I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, I want to make sure I got a fixed rate. Well, right now, I want to say majority of the time you're gonna get a fixed rate. Just something to put some out there. I know there's a lot of people out there saying the market's gonna crash, but it's not. You're gonna see there's price cuts that's happening on houses because builders, they're seeing that their inventory is much higher than what it was during the seller's market because of the interest rates. A lot of people aren't buying like that, but the housing market is not gonna crash. The housing market crashed in 2007, 2008 because banks were giving people loans that could not afford them. And there is a federal law that prevents that from happening now. So what caused the market to crash is not going to happen. So for those out there looking for the market to crash, go find them a $25,000 house. That's 6 bedrooms, 5 baths, and a pool in the back. Unfortunately,
From the people I speak to, they probably calling it a crash. I think they are saying they went on a crash, but I think what they mean is they're waiting on the swing back more to a buyer's market because sooner or later, sellers, you can't keep raising the price. Eventually, nobody's gonna be able to afford it. You got to start bringing it right back down.
Oh, we here now. I'm seeing. I'm looking every time I'm looking, working with a client. I'm looking at houses. I'm seeing price cuts, 22,000.
Yeah.
15,000.
It's not gonna crash like it did before. Like you said, it's gonna balance out, but there's gonna have to be a give and take on both ends. But I tell people all the time, are you ready? If it crashes today, do you have the money set aside to purchase a home?
That's
so no matter what, if the house is $150,000 and you still gotta put something down, if you only got $20 in your savings, the market crashing still won't benefit you.
Absolutely.
So I'm always willing to work with people who are trying to plan 2 years out. They want to know how much they need to save. I say from 4 to 8% of the purchase price, depending on your loan product. But if your spending habits aren't in order, no matter when it happens or whatever may happen, because we can't predict the market. We know things will change. If you're not ready, you just wasted another potential opportunity, because months before, when there were 3 and 4% interest rate, you still were waiting, you still were procrastinating. And I bought twice since 2016, and I had a really great rate for both houses. And now I'm like, oh, I'm sitting still. This is me personally.
Absolutely.
Now, if I had to buy a house again, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna have my house. I'm gonna have my money together because I have to live somewhere. And regardless, when it does level out, you're gonna still find a home in your price range. Don't try to still keep your mind on that 300,000 because these houses all look the same, just a different location, different community. So you gotta kind of have a strategy as you're thinking about this potential crash versus just talking the talk and then you still eating out every week, living your best life. And don't get me wrong, living your best life is really important. But if homeownership is something that you're looking forward to, there has to be a point where you compromise and give up and sacrifice a part of, what you enjoy so that you can have a home. And then once you got a home, girl, turn up. Boy, listen, have fun, do what you got to do, and pay your bills on time.
Y'all giving me the easiest video ever. I don't know what part of this I'm gonna edit out. I might just services connect you all offer.
Me personally, I work with home buyers. I also work with investors. Home buyers and investors, they're distinctly different. My home buyers, a lot of times, they're nervous. They're scared because it's a big purchase and it's a commitment. Either you're committing 15 years of your life or 30 years of your life to it. Unless you're able to pay it down quicker, which I do encourage people. Hey, if you're able to make an extra payment towards your principal, so that you can bring down some of the years you owe. Because a lot of people, oh, I just made an extra mortgage payment, and if you make an extra mortgage payment, you also got to take in consideration that you're paying insurance and interest. So if you have that extra money, pay it towards that principal. Dealing with my investors, I have good investors that, hey, they know exactly what they want to find. I go scout some properties, I show them they got the money, they're good. And I do have some that come in there, they've watched too many, and as much as I learned, flips. Yes, too many buys and flips, and I want to go and I want to buy 6 houses, and I want to get them all at this time, and it's like, okay, that house is $20,000. That's you're dealing with cash buyers, because there's some people that have $20,000 in their account. They can go buy that house at 20, and then they use a home equity loan or a home equity line of credit to repair that home and put it back on the market quicker than you being a new person wanting to get into it. And that's why it's like with investors, I try to talk to them and say, hey, what is it that you really want to do? What is it that you really want to find? I'm also, working to work with some commercial clients. So, those that want to purchase commercial properties or get into that arena, which commercial properties is a whole nother animal. So, but I work with pretty much anyone. If you need help as far as purchasing a home, property, land, any of that, just give me a call, hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, shoot me a message through my website, anywhere. You see me in public, throw a rock at me,
Got a rock. Just wave them down.
A pebble, not a whole boulder or something, but, smoke sitting on.
Make them dizzy, don't knock them out, I guess.
Yeah.
Same. I work with anybody. I have a special niche for people who are trying to buy within a year or two. I try to allot some time to kind of sit down with them, talk about what the process looks like. But I pretty much anybody looking to purchase. I'm even dabbling a little bit into construction loans. Anybody who wants to build from the ground up, we have that option for you. Investors as well, we do some non-QN loans, pretty much not your typical traditional loans like VA, FHA. Those are the people who know what they want. They are really like, I'm like, hey, you slow down because I got to keep up with you, but they are forward thinking and thinking about the future and
let me ask you this, because I know some realtors, like, they won't take people out to see houses until they have a pre-approval letter. Are you one of those, or you just go?
I will take you, but I also advise all of my clients that it's better to get a pre-approval, because I would hate to take you and I'm showing you this house and you fall in love with a house that's $280,000, $250,000 is perfect, it's just for you, but then when you sit down with your lender, they can only approve you for $25,000, $225,000. So, and if you don't have that other $25,000 sitting there to get you to that price point, it's going to be hard to negotiate somebody down $25,000.
That's not happening, especially not right now.
Definitely not happening right now.
I can tell someone's serious. One, they answer my call. Typically,
kind of straightforward.
I mean, if you're dodging me, I can tell, which I like to be respectful. So typically when I get a new lead, I'm like, hey, can we have a conversation? I like to talk to you first to see where you're going, what's your mindset, like your timeline, so I know how much pressure I need to apply. But let's just say, okay, you've completed the application and I'm looking over everything, and now I'm like, hey, send me your documents. One thing about lenders, we need documentation. And I know sometimes if you're new to the process, you may not have access to it, but 3 weeks should not go by without you touching base and saying, hey, I got this, I'm waiting on this person. A lot of the times I will assist you getting the documents. Like, I'm talking to someone's manager now and he's amazing. He's helping me get the documents for him. We're working together so that he can get a home. But ultimately, if you can't get me the documents so I can get your pre-approval, that lets me know that you're a little bit hesitant. And I like to respect people's, space and where they're at in this process. So I'll still keep up with you. Or if your credit isn't great and I'm telling you, all right, within a month, do this, do that, and you don't do it, and you're adding more things to your credit report that is only hurting you, that lets me know that you're not ready. And that's okay, because I still want you to buy in 2 years, and I still want to be the mortgage lender that you come to.
Open the floor to y'all. What's some things as far as you think is important for people who are looking to get into the homes, or just things that maybe people wouldn't realize they need or they need to know when they're thinking about buying a home or when they are buying a home? As far as floors, y'all.
Don't be afraid to talk to a mortgage lender or even a realtor. You can always start the conversation with, hey, I'm not ready to buy right now, but I have a question. We do a lot of marketing on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and like I try to engage the conversation about home ownership and questions that people may have. Just because you ask me a question does not mean that you are a lead. You're just asking a question. And a lot of times you need guidance in this process, even if you're thinking about it, because you may be one bad decision away that could hinder you from getting a home. You need to know who's in your community that you can trust. Of course, I service the whole state of Georgia, so I can help you even if you are in Atlanta, you're in Marietta. Like, I have clients in Savannah. So a mortgage loan officer can service you pretty much from anywhere, as long as they're licensed in your state. You know, if you see somebody that you're following that gives you good advice, they should be willing to talk to you and to answer your questions. If they don't, that's not a mortgage lender that you need to work with. For me personally, I am glued to my phone, so I typically respond very quickly because I know everybody's in a rush. So if it's my business hours, you got my undivided attention, and I'm willing to answer your questions. So, yeah.
As far as me, same thing. Don't be afraid to, speak with a lender. Speak with a lender or speak with a real estate agent. Just ask questions. The information you get could help you in the long run. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, I would say, be prepared to get a appraisal. Also, I know there are a lot of people that are waiving inspections to get into a home. I implore anyone, do not waive your inspection. I have seen videos of people, young lady purchased a home a month ago. She waived inspection to get into it, and she has recently found out that half her home was infected by termites.
Let me ask you this: when you like inspections, I definitely never on like a home that you're buying for somebody else. What would you say about somebody trying to waive it maybe on a new build? Because don't they have to kind of get inspected through certain things already?
They do. Depending on what loan vehicle you use, you can waive it. I know with a FHA, you're not waiving that. There's too much red tape. The government want to know that that home that they're insuring is going to stand. VA's the same way. That's why during the seller's market, there was a lot of people saying they only would deal with conventional loans. Because under conventional loans, you can get that waived, but it's a risk. Like with new builds, you need to get that inspection. Make sure that it's built correctly. Because even though, my house is new, so
and make sure it comes with the warranty too.
Yes, the warranty is very big. Don't let those things go to the wayside just because you want to get into a home.
Yeah.
Buying a home it's a process. It's not just a wake up tomorrow unless you got the money. If you got the money, hey, go do it. But for most people, it's not just I wake up tomorrow and I went and bought a house. It's not like getting an apartment.
Yeah.
So.
And I always think of it like, you want to buy something that you could potentially sell. Yep. When I sold my first house, I realized, like, even though it's a new construction, I had it for 3 years, some people didn't like the school zone that it was zoned for. And that hindered a lot of people from taking a chance on the house because they wanted their kids to go to this, school that they had in mind. And that's okay. That's their thing. Yeah. So if you're waiving inspections and all these other things and you're just, I love it, and you don't know what you're getting into, especially us single women who, I don't know how to fix stuff. I get a new construction because I know it'll at least get us through the first 5 years. The roof has a warranty. Like, those are the garbage disposal. Those things I don't want to have to deal with. But if you're buying a home that was already lived in by a previous owner, you want to protect yourself, because once you sign those papers, they are not coming back to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you got termites? It's okay.
Oh my gosh, okay.
It's okay.
I'll pay for it.
Bring the keys back.
They
It's
don't
okay. Bring the keys
care.
back.
You know, it's like, hey, it's your problem now. So, and that's why you have to have a great realtor. Be picky. You got to think about these things, because it's your home, and if you can't sell that home, you're stuck with it.
You're stuck with it for at least 15 to 30 years.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So I guess the last real question I have, I mean, let's go ahead and ask why. Why should somebody choose you all over anybody else?
I'm gonna go. Personally, you should choose me because I love working with people, and I'm gonna give you the best customer service. One thing that I pride myself in is being able to listen to people and to research what they need to know to be able to get into a home. I'm one of those loan officers that's really passionate about helping people. Like, I've had the experience of buying my home when I was 23, and to be able to do that and to be able to share like the joy and the excitement that comes from it, like, I feel like everybody should have that experience. So I'm really big on relationships. You are family. Once you pick up the phone and we start texting, I'm like your girlfriend that you never knew that you need in your life, or your little sister who gives you great advice and is willing to help you throughout the process. Like, I try to make sure it's not just a business transaction, it's a relationship, because I want your kids to call me up and say, hey, you helped my mom get into this home. Can you help me on my first home? I want it to be a thing where your whole family know that they can trust me and that they'll take me on as their loan officer. So give me a call. My website is CorettaYeadon.com. So, hit me up. Let me know how I can help you.
As far as me, the reason why you should pick me is because, one, this is not just a job for me. This is just not a transaction, a business transaction. I'm not looking to do this to get to the next person. I want to make sure that your result at the end is what you want. You have the home you want. You've gotten the right rate from the lender you want, because as your real estate agent, I have to talk to your lender, and I'm going to make sure that, hey, your lender is not just trying to put you in the worst situation. I'm willing to take the time with you. You want to give me a call within my business hours, and even sometimes outside of my business hours. If you give me a call, if I don't answer, I'll shoot you a text. Hey, I'll give you a call first thing in the morning, or I'll pick up the phone and we can have that conversation at that moment, depending on what's going on. But picking me, you're getting a friend, you're getting a brother, you're getting, uncle, older brother, little brother, whatever you need as far as helping you through this home buying process. And the other thing is, I'm going to educate you throughout this process, so that once you purchase your home, you can go talk to other people and be like, oh, I remember when I bought my home, I learned I can do this, and you can do this too. So you're going to leave me with some knowledge that you didn't have prior to coming into this home buying process, so that, by you passing that to the next, hey, who was your realtor? Hey, my realtor was Jay, man. He taught me all this stuff. He made sure I had this. He even made sure he was able to hook up this for me and everything. That's what you get when you get me. It's not just platinum real estate. It's not just Homes for Heroes. It's Jay, and you want to contact me again on Facebook. It's J Rashad Riggins. On IG is J Rashad _ THA Realtor. I'm there.
Perfect. Any last remarks, any last statements from you all?
I just want to thank you for the time, man, and interviewing us, man.
This was one of probably the easiest interviews I had. Like, I'm thinking, because while I interview people, I'm thinking, like, in my head, that's an edit point. Just so I know when I'm going through. Go back, look for that. Then you need to find that. I don't think I got any with y'all. I can literally, all I need to do is probably about 3 videos. All I need to do is cut the ends, of course, when I got up. You don't know, I get up and turn it off, turn it back off. And we probably let this run the whole way through. I don't really think, unless you all go back and realize you said something you don't want in there.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really can think of anything that I just need to take out of this, which is very impressive. I've done a lot of interviews, and I've never. I mean, I've done excellent interviews with people,
Yeah.
but no. Y'all probably the most well-spoken people I've sat down with. Not to disrespect
Oh, y'all get a little
anybody else,
ratchet around here.
Oh, we definitely do. But,
Oh.
no, this was definitely a pleasure. Real estate something I'm interested too. I'm interested in too.
Wish you
so
all nothing but
it was
success,
definitely interesting to hear
because you all
from
both definitely
professional
deserve it.
perspectives.
And
Exactly.
I think you earned it.
If
If
we're
being
being straightforward. Definitely was an honor
Other
and a
than that,
privilege. These great people have nothing else to say. My name is Lawrence Ray, and we are done.